Al Green is one of the best soul singers of all time. He has a number of hits, including Take Me to the River, Tired of Being Alone, I'm Still in Love with You, Love and Happiness, and one of his most famous songs, Let's Stay Together. He had amazing success. He won 11 Grammy Awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He was super successful. Then something crazy happened in his life. Then after that, he became an ordained pastor. Al Green was born Albert Leonoris Green on April 13th, 1946 in Forest City, Arkansas. He was the sixth of 10 children. His mother was Cora Lee and his father was Robert G. Green, a sharecropper. At around 10 years old, he began performing with his sister in a group called the Green Brothers. The Green family relocated to Grand Rapids, Michigan in the late 1950s. When he was still a teenager, his religious father allegedly kicked him out of the home after he caught him listening to Jackie Wilson. He allegedly started living with a pros and began hustling when he was in high school. He formed a group called Al Green and the Creations. Two of the group's members, Curtis Rogers and Palmer James, they formed an independent label called Hotline Music Journal. They ended up changing their names to Al Green and the Soulmates, and they recorded the song Backup Train, releasing it on Hotline Music. The song was a hit on the R&B charts, and it went to number 46 in the Cashbox Top 100. The follow-up songs failed to hit the charts as well as their debut album Backup a Train. Al met producer Willie Mitchell, who hired him in 1969 to be a vocalist for a Texas show with his band. After the performance, Mitchell asked Al Green to sign with his High Records label. Realizing that Al was trying to sing like Jackie Wilson, Sam Cooke, Wilson Pickett, and James Brown, Mitchell became his mentor and he coached him into finding his own unique voice. Before he released his first album, he removed the E from the end of his name. In 1969, he released Green is Blues. His follow-up album was Al Green Gets Next to You in 1971. It featured the hit R&B cover of The Temptations' I Can't Get Next to You. It was recorded in a blues-oriented style. The album had the big hit Tired of Being Alone, which sold 1 million copies, and it was certified gold. He had 8 gold singles between 1971 and 1974. His album Let's Stay Together made sure a lot of us would not forget him. He was a big success, and that was his biggest hit to this day. It reached number 1 on both the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B charts. That album became his first to be certified gold. The next one, I'm Still in Love with You, went platinum. Al was that guy, full of talent, and his success continued with his album Call Me. It is said that Al Green had a way with women. David Shea, who collaborated with Al on his 2000 autobiography, Take Me to the River, allegedly said that Al had a basic animal appeal to women. One of his experiences with one particular girlfriend, Mary Woodson, changed his life. Mary Woodson, she first made Al Green's acquaintance after attending one of his concerts in upstate New York. According to Al Green, he was seeing 29-year-old Mary Woodson, who confessed that she was in love with him. After returning to his Memphis home from a show in San Francisco in October of 1974, Mary Woodson unexpectedly appeared to confront him about her feelings. Unfortunately, Al Green didn't exactly feel the same way for her. He did an interview saying that she loved him. He said she told him, "I have a problem." And he said, "What's that?" And she said, "I love you." And he said, "Well, okay, you love me and I like you too, so I have no problem with it." He said, but there's one thing she didn't tell him. She was married and had 3 children. He said she told him that she loves him and she doesn't want to go on without him. He said he told her, "Please don't take that much of a do or die attitude about things." He said, "Man, there's life to live." He said he didn't know that it was that serious. He said they had just put on this song. They put out this song called Sha-La-La-La, Make Me Happy. He said after the session, they went into the house fixing coffee and so on. He said she asked him if he would marry her. And he said no, he doesn't think he's ready to get married. He said that she said, well, I sure love you. And he said, well, let's think on it a while. He said there was more people in the house other than them. He said he went to his section and he closed the door. He said he went downstairs and he asked her, why are you boiling water? He said he went back up and he left the door open that time, and she came back up with the whole pot of water, and all of a sudden, he's full of it. He said he had on a thin robe and he was getting ready to go to bed. She poured that hot grits on him. He said he was in total pain and shock. He said he reached back and he had 2 fingers full of skin on that. That had to be really painful. He said he jumped in the shower and he was aching all over. He said he called a girl from next door to help him. He said he had big boils on his skin and he couldn't believe the pain he was in. All of a sudden, he heard that pop, pop. Then he heard something hit the floor, boom, and that was the end of that. He said, what's that noise? And she said, it sounds like gunshots. He said, this can't be. This is ridiculous. Things are going crazy. He found his girlfriend lying on the floor with a pistol in her hand. He said to call the police. He said he called his brother Bill and he picked up Cheryl Hodges and they called the sheriff's office. He said, just get me to the hospital. I am hurting. At that time of the interview, Al said he really doesn't believe today that actually happened. He said he would ask people if it was really true. He said he would sneak off and ask the chief of police, who is a good friend of his, if this actually happened, if she was faking it, is she joking? He said it's unbelievable, and if he focuses on it, he has trouble believing that it actually happened. Al Green later became Minister Al Green. He became a pastor. After the incident happened, it said Al Green was in the hospital for months. It was pretty bad. The Chicago Tribune and the New York Times did articles on this story back in 1974. It was big news and it shocked the music industry. Mary Woodson's death by Al Green's gun had people wondering. Some people believe that Al Green did it, and a lot of people believe that he did not do it. Al Green later devoted his career to gospel music. He became a Baptist minister and he bought the Full Gospel Tabernacle Church in Memphis, Tennessee. Al Green and Shirley Kiles got married in 1977. This was her second marriage. They had a rocky marriage. Their relationship was filled with breakups and separations, but they would get back together. According to an article on newsamamama.com, for Shirley Kiles, the shame of having another failed marriage and the notion she had to endure an abusive relationship for the sake of her children kept her from leaving. She met Al Green on a Sunday in 1976 at a Baptist church in Memphis. At Al's request, Shirley, the daughter of a Baptist preacher in Chicago, joined Al's musical group as a background singer. According to the article, shortly after they got married, Shirley became pregnant with their first child. After 8 weeks, she lost the baby and she fled to Chicago to heal with her sister. At that point, Al Green had allegedly been physically abusing Shirley, and despite admitting to being afraid, she returned to her husband and believed his tears and words when he said he would not do it again. It didn't take her long to fall pregnant again with their first daughter, and during the course of their marriage, she gave birth to 2 more daughters. Despite believing the sincerity of Al's actions and his vowing never to lay a hand on her again, they both confirmed the abuse continued. Shirley opened up about multiple times Al had been violent. She used her story to help other victims of abuse as well as to educate abusers. In a sworn deposition in 1982, as part of her divorce filing, Shirley testified that in 1978, while she was 5 months pregnant, Al Green beat her with a boot for refusing to have sex. She claimed that the incident resulted in head wounds, one of which required stitches. This is just wild. So they were married in 1977, and by April 1978, just months before their first wedding anniversary, Shirley filed for divorce, according to the Chicago Tribune. She said he slapped, shoved, and threatened her. He kicked her. He allegedly beat her with an acoustic guitar because she scratched his car once he punched her in her face. According to the article, Shirley Green said it's not to tear him down because that's still her children's father. She said, I still pray for Al's soul. I don't know if he has been delivered. In sworn testimony, he admitted to abusing his wife, although he maintained it was not without provocation. Now, this is really something. It's something. Now, Mr. Al Green, he has been the pastor of the Full Gospel Tabernacle in Whitehaven, Memphis for more than 40 years. He is looking good, and he will always be one of the best soul singers of all time.